Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. It's Tuesday. Don't forget it's Gratitude Tuesday. Thanks somebody. Tell somebody you love them. Go outside your comfort zone. You know the people you need to check on. I love this particular individual. She's amazing. Kendra Davies is back with Talk It Out, Stellar Life Coaching. And we're going to talk about awe today. Now, if you're from the North, like I was originally from, you'd say awe. But you're going to only say awe for this. And it's not the awe like, oh, I love that piece, that food I just ate. It's the awe, A-W-E. So we're going to talk about what it is and how we can get more of it. Welcome. How you doing, Kendra?
I am so good. Thanks for having me again.
I love having you on here. People tell me all the time they look forward to this show.
Aww.
That has nothing to do with me. I can tell you right now. It has all to do with you. So before we take a deep dive into awe, tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. So my name is Kendra Davies. I'm a positive psychology practitioner and a life coach, and I own Stellar Life Coaching here in Orlando, Florida. And my spiel is that I help my clients identify, define, and cultivate their own happiness to live more meaningful lives. And I work with individuals, couples, businesses. I do lunch and learns and speak. And I am now an author. Book launch in August. Ha!
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I do all of the things, and I love to serve people. So here we are.
And you do an amazing job at it. And you are the brains behind the topics that we come up with, that you come up with. So when you first did this one, you gave me three, and I chose this 1/3 of the three. I don't really know why. I think I was trying to wrap my head around how we'd have a discussion about awe. But then I said, you know what? She has a reason. I'm going to go with the flow. And so we're going to talk about awe. So why'd you choose this? And then let's define it. What are we talking about today?
So I chose awe because, to me, when you think back to some of the most meaningful experiences in our lives, awe is often at the core of it. And awe is it's like when you see a sunset, or I know for me, I hear my kid laugh, right? Or I'm part of something bigger than myself. Like I am in awe of what is possible, what is available, what I'm seeing. Most of the most meaningful parts of our lives have this emotion associated with it, but we don't often name it awe. Like we don't say, oh my gosh, I'm experiencing awe. Like nobody's ever said that. But that's what it is. And so, in the vein of emotional intelligence within positive psychology, I try to touch on emotions that we often experience, but we don't know how to label or name. And awe is one of those emotions. So I thought it would be a fun and meaningful topic to bring out to the public.
So how do we differentiate? One of the first things I thought of is, and it's along the lines of what you just shared. How do I differentiate between happy, joyful, or joy, and awe?
So, I mean, to be frank, I think that everybody is going to differentiate between positive emotions differently. Like what you would use to describe happy, I might use content. Yes. So it's kind of subjective in that regard. However, like the awe as an experience has two parts that I think are really important. So the first is like vastness. So it's this feeling of something greater than you, if that makes sense. So it has vastness. And then part two is like, we actually have to mentally accommodate the experience. And what that means is like, if I'm looking at a sunset and I feel small and I feel like I'm a part of something greater than myself, right? But the beauty or the perception that I have seems so overwhelming that my brain actually has to move and shift to accommodate what I'm seeing. Yeah. Something that I didn't think could be beautiful, or I didn't think could be this beautiful. The first time I ever climbed a thing, which was like 2019, I remember when I got to the top, there's like a cliff, and then there was a rock on the cliff that sat like this. And I was shaking. I was terrified. I've never climbed on top of a thing. So I did it, and I got on the rock, and I remember like I was taking a picture, like, somebody please document the fact that I'm on this giant rock. Holy shit. And then I turned around, and I had never seen anything so beautiful. Like, I had been to the tops of mountains, right? Like, I did a tour bus things, like touristy things, but like I'd never hiked up a mountain, stood on a boulder on a cliff, and then gazed out at the land. And I just remember that sensation where it was the vastness. It was that as far as my eyes could see, I didn't see the end. And I felt like I was a part of something bigger than myself. And also that the beauty of what I was witnessing was like almost overwhelming, right?
Well, it's kind of like immediately when you're describing, I think Grand Canyon. I don't know why that came to my mind,
Yeah.
but when I think of awe, I think of it's this, you're not going to find it anywhere else, or maybe you're not going to have that feeling exactly like it anywhere else. Something that I'm in awe of people and their motivation too. I feel like awe is a great way when somebody is doing something that I feel like is so remarkable and touches me and really moves me. I feel like I am experiencing awe at that moment. I'm in awe of someone who, there's a speaker who has no arms and no legs. I can't think of his name right now. I'm in awe.
Nick, I think.
Yes. That to me, the first time I saw him speak, I was in awe. I was like, wow, I have nothing to complain about. This is way beyond my normal scope of thinking, sort of along your definition. And I'm feeling something I've not felt before, or certainly not experienced in that exact moment. And so I was in awe of everything he was able to accomplish.
Yeah. And it challenges whatever beliefs, ideas, or things that we have felt before. We feel challenged, like, holy shit, this person rearranges the furniture in my brain. Like, it changes me. This sunset, that kiss, that love, that experience, it comes in and it rearranges the furniture, and we recognize something important. And it's equal parts about them or it and us, right? Like a lot of, when we ask people what their meaningful things are, it's usually they're so down and out, and then they have this experience and it turns it around, right? So sometimes it is actually the state we are in, the experience, and then the reaction we have to that experience. So
the second part of this actually is the part I found most fascinating for me personally, kind of on a personal challenge. I feel like I know what awe is, or at least my definition, but I've never thought about actively figuring out how I get more of it. That's a step that I don't think a lot of people have thought about. Like, you want it, but you don't actively pursue it, or maybe you're not searching out things that would continue to give you that feeling of awe. So I'm fascinated by what you meant by that question. It struck me as, wow, I was sort of in awe of the question, to be honest with you. It made me think differently.
Yeah. Well, and I think that when I say, how do we get more awe? It's like, how do we get more meaning? Yes. Like, how do I take this day-to-day experience and actually choose to be vulnerable enough in my observations and in my presence with people, with places, and have that experience of vastness and accommodation? Like, can you look at the ocean and see it in a different light and choose to witness yourself as a part of a greater whole? Right? So when I say, how do we get more, it becomes, can we challenge ourselves to have a deeper, more meaningful experience in each regard? You talk about Nick, right? The speaker.
Yes.
There's going to be days where you can watch that video and it not do a thing for you.
You're right.
But then there's going to be that day, and it's based on where you are. It's your starting point, right? Your jumping off point, so to speak, that allows you to be moved. And when I say get more of it, how do we put ourselves in that position to be pushed? So what often happens is that because awe is something that comes in and rearranges the furniture, it is often a mix of like, oh my God, this is amazing, and absolutely terrifying. Like, and so we can choose which perspective we're going to take. And we might not have the bandwidth or the emotional wherewithal in the moment to choose awe. We might go with terrifying. Like we're going to go with, this is too scary. I don't want to do this. This is way too deep. I'm at work. Right. So when you watch that video, you might say, oh, I can't do this. It's going to make me cry. Right.
Right.
To get more awe, it's putting ourselves in that position and saying, okay, I'm going to let Nick come in here and blow my fucking mind.
Right.
I am going to choose to look out at the ocean and just take it in. Yes. I'm not just going to take a picture and post it on Instagram. I'm going to put my phone down. I am going to take this in and allow it to rearrange the furniture. Yeah.
I love the shift, the mind shift. We're basically, if you can shift it. So here's what I'm thinking. And again, I had no idea how this conversation was going to go. I'm thinking, what if I shifted the way I even look at a human being? Somebody maybe I've done business with for a long time or been in a relationship with. And instead of just going from the point of reference I know, really taking a broader look at the big picture of that person's life, that person's efforts, that person's passions, and maybe be a little more in awe of what all of us as human beings accomplish on a daily basis and the things that we do for the rest of humanity. To me, I am in awe of people like that a lot, but sometimes I've been with them so much, I forget how in awe I originally was.
Yeah. And I think that it requires us to remind ourselves to see people, right? Like when we get into the monotony, into the day to day, I was having a conversation the other day. I'm so used to not leaving my house that when I do leave the house and I get a compliment, I'm like, what? Like, yeah. What does that mean? What do you need? I'm suspect. And choosing to shift that perspective, like, wow, it is so, like, I can still walk into a room and have an effect, like I can see myself in the world. I can look at people who do good for no good reason. I can, an example, like I do this exercise about superpowers, right? When I talk about like elevator pitches and stuff and like coaching people to do elevator pitches. And the superpower that I always talk about is my ability to see people, right? Like I can take in all of you, like the good, the bad, the ugly, the dark bits. But I see people and in a way that allows and creates space for them to make different choices, to play, to take risk, to think differently, to challenge themselves, to hold themselves accountable. Like that is a superpower that I have. And I'm on the phone and I have a client who just launched a business. It's a big freaking deal. Yeah. Like years in the works, like it's happening, it's live, it's available to the world. And she goes, everything is really good. I mean, it's just a little stressful. And for a second, I had to like I was almost offended that she was talking about her own big, badass, bold, brave thing so casually, But I move into awe. Like I want to have this awe experience. And I look at her and I'm like, I know what this woman has done to be able to launch this business. I know the demons she had to fight, the realities she had to overcome. Like, holy, I have goosebumps because I know what she has done. It is not just a little stressful. This is the bravest thing she's ever done in her whole life. And I got a front row seat. I'm in awe. Holy shit, human beings are magical and she is doing it. But being able to see people, right? To not let them be dismissive, like when we see people doing good in the community, when you see people creating space that is inclusive and honors all of these complex things that so many people are so afraid of doing. It's like, I can be in awe of that. Like the courage, the bravery, the humanity.
Can you be in awe? Like, I'll ask you this, a personal one. Your book is launching in August. When you completed it, when you were finally like, and I'm sure there's edits all the way up to the end, but when you completed it, did you allow yourself to be in awe of what you accomplished?
Yeah. Yes. The answer is yes. I think, so the book, like there's a book and a TED Talk. These are the two things that I've wanted to do for years that I've not done, right? These are my do-over goals. And if you want to go to stellarlifecoaching.com/slay sessions, you can learn more about my goal setting workshop. But these are the two goals. Like I do what I say I'm going to do. These are the two things that have not been done. Yes. And I remember when I hit send, right? Ted, you're going to make me cry.
Oh, see?
It's like this thing is done. This thing that you didn't think was possible, that you didn't feel worthy of, a story that, you know, who am I to tell this story? Like, do they really want to hear it from me? Like all that you have to push through in order to make something like this happen, no matter what happens in August, right?
Right.
I hit send on my chapter to a publisher.
Yes.
In a book that's going to be published. Holy shit. What?
I know.
Right? Like being able to actually let it sink in and I don't know, like it's not a celebration as much as it is like an acknowledgement that this is the work of countless people. It's every client that's ever told me, Kendra, when are you going to write a book? You know, it's all of my clients that like the people that I have served that have said this needs to come into existence. It's like every single thing has brought and breathed life into something, and it's actually coming to fruition.
Look at all of the work. And I guess the reason I ask that question is because I feel like people don't give themselves to have that moment with themselves. We're conditioned to either you're bragging too much, or that's going to make you look bad, or just keep going. You got to keep working. You can't sit and enjoy the labor, what happens with all the labor you're putting in. And I love the fact that you allowed yourself to be that way. And I think also people, like in the cancer world, for example, I'm in awe of any mom or dad who can still raise a family, go to work, go to chemo, deal with all of the sickness and radiation and all of that. To me, I am in awe of the amount of human strength and perseverance a lot that people do. Ellen's on and her grandson running for Heroes. And I'm in awe that an 11-year-old started this and runs for all the fallen heroes across the country.
Whoa.
So look, see, it's your fault. Now I'm getting emotional. But that kind of stuff is, I think we have to allow ourselves to be in awe. And I don't want to replicate what the 11-year-old did, but I can be in awe of everything that he has done to do it, and still be in awe of the things that I accomplished. But I feel like we don't give ourselves permission enough to be in awe. So that's why this topic is just so important.
Yeah. You know, and I think that another way to view awe is like meaning-making experiences. Like, how do I take a normal experience and give it more meaning? Yeah. And the way that we do that is we choose the vulnerability of a moment. You know, like what you just did was you could have just said, oh, he's an 11-year-old boy and he does Running for Heroes. And it was great. But when you make that choice where you allow yourself to move into that space where you're like, dude, it's an 11-year-old kid making a difference. Like, and you allow that thing to come in and rearrange the furniture, it creates a connection. Like you are a part of something greater. We all are. And man,
feed your soul. It's so good. It's good to allow yourself to experience that. It's good to be able to acknowledge how you're feeling, acknowledge the stuff, the work, the hard work that people put in. So yes, it can be the Grand Canyon. Yes, it can be writing a book, but it can also be a single mom surviving every day and thriving and doing what she has to do for her family. There's just so much that we could allow ourselves to experience awe with. That's why I love that second part. How can we get more? Because we can, and then it can make such an impact on your heart and your soul. All right.
It's vastness. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I was just going to repeat. It's vastness and accommodation. That's it. Those are the things. It's a thing that lets us see the bigger picture, like that we're a part of something greater than ourselves, and that accommodation where our ideas, beliefs, and theories are pushed beyond what we thought was possible.
Yes. I want people to experience that. This topic is so good. All right. So what's the best way for them to reach you? Maybe learn about your sleigh sessions. I know you gave it before. Learn more about awe and all of the amazing things that you're doing in the world, Kendra Davies.
Sure. So you can go to stellarlifecoaching.com and you can contact me there. You can text or call the phone number there. You can email me from there. You can learn about all of my programs and options, from one-on-one coaching to Evolve, my online group coaching program, which starts in July. Ba-da-ba-da-bow. So you can pre-register and join me in July. And then obviously we have the Phoenix Retreat, my all-inclusive, luxurious women's retreat. If you are looking to get away and have a transformational experience, I'd love to take you with me.
Love it. All right. Kendra Davies, stellarlifecoaching.com. You can find everything there, including her phone number, how to reach her, more information about all she does. Thank you so much. What a great topic, and I believe a really much needed discussion. I think I want to give permission. I'm giving you all permission to experience more awe in your life. Let it go. You don't have to cry like me and Kendra, but you can certainly be a lot more open to enjoying that and embracing that. Thank you, Kendra. All right, we'll be back next week, guys. See you soon. We love you guys.